not a YouTuber, just like making videos. In this video here, I'm gonna answer Twinky's question. Twinky left me a comment on my latest video. She said something about how is Ghetto Gaggers detrimental to the black community. The women aren't being raped, or or saying, she was like, convinced me, like, just looking at it as kind of like no big deal. See, the thing is, I guess since Akweezy brought up Ghetto Gaggers, and since people don't like Akweezy and we look at these guys as the sellouts, that we're going to ignore, certain topics they bring up. And I understand that some of these guys, some of the some of their angles do have merits. I'm like, what is it? I'm like, if you're driving down the street and you see Akweezy on the side of the road, or whatever, or David Carl, and they tell you, hey, danger's ahead, the bridge is out, are you going to just be like, oh, that's Akweezy and David Carl, man, these guys are just full of hot air, and so forth. Now, I'm going to talk about Ghetto Gaggers, but I'm also going to talk about how the black female is over-sexualized. For instance, Ghetto Gaggers. I did a search for Ghetto Gaggers. I used Google, Wow, and I got 260,000 results. Then I scrolled through it. It's people protesting against Ghetto Gaggers sites, bootleg Ghetto Gaggers site. Matter of fact, the term Ghetto Gaggers has even made it into the Urban Dictionary. I kid you not. And Ghetto Gaggers' slogan is ebony hood rats being choked by white cock. That's just doesn't sit right with me. And I feel that Ghetto Gaggers is it's psychological warfare. I'm like, if they're gagging females, they're gagging females, but now they want to go after a Pacific female, black females, then superimpose the word ghetto to them because they assume that they're black, that they have to be ghetto, and they knew what they was going to do was conjure up racial feelings, except, even though we, I'm like, because of the history, it's going to harken back to the days where the white female, or the black woman, has no power, and so forth. And the thing is, but the anti-Tommy Meyer crowd is losing so much credibility by the day, by the ounces. Because the thing is, or these people was like, if you go against Tommy, or whatever, you need to hold Tommy Sotomayor's distractors at the same standards you hold Tommy. Like, some of Tommy's distractors, I've heard them say some of the same rhetoric as Tommy has, and so forth. It's just that we get riled behind, anybody, that goes against what I consider the fantastic forward, the power forward, the better men, and so forth. But I'm going to look at their morals, their moral code, and so forth. And not meaning I'm going to take their side, but my thing is right is right. But going back into Ghetto Gaggers. Now, I read on a website that people are trying to, now this is just speculation, that the person Bushby, the guy who murdered Katie Winters, the white boy who murdered Katie Winters, which hardly anybody's talking about, that just went under the bridge because more people was worried about fucking Sharkeisha or whatever. They're saying that this dude was an avid watcher of Ghetto Gaggers. As I said, don't hold me to it. Don't try to come back and say, well, your facts are wrong and so forth. This is just speculation. But what if this was true? What if we do have a white person who killed a black woman and tortured her or whatever, because he was watching Ghetto Gaggers? Then what you gonna do? We use Asia McGowan all the time, but it just seems like we're just using her, and we're not thinking about the well-being of all black women, and that there's other dangers out there. I'm like, as I said before, Ghetto Gaggers has search engine 260,000 results. Tommy Sotomayor 55,000. Even though that's still a lot, nowhere near close as Ghetto Gaggers, and Tommy is somebody that's constantly pushing himself. You know, you know what I'm saying? He's constantly at every angle as Ghetto Gaggers is trying. I know Ghetto Gaggers want to be popular, but Ghetto Gaggers is trying to be in a, you know, keep a low profile and so forth. Also, the females on Ghetto Gaggers, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are very young, you know, barely legal. Some of them can even be 16 and 17. Because, you know, just before I did this video, I just wanted to research a couple of Ghetto Gagger stuff, and I got lost in a labyrinth. You know how the internet is, and just pages upon that stuff. And it's like, oh man, it's sad. And he said they pay him about, you know, $2,000, and I don't think $2,000 is worth their dignity, worth their pride. But as I said, it's like the white dudes are just tramping on black culture altogether. So it's also a swipe at the black man and so forth. And as I said, it harkens back into those days. Because, you know, when you really think about it, now, people have stated that, they go after. And let's go into the black female in the porn industry, in the sex industry, XXX industry, so forth, all together. Now, you know, we can talk about, you know, say, oh, white women do it too. White women are all in it too. I'm like, I understand that. You can see a naked white woman in a cage, you know, acting like a complete Neanderthal, like she just stepped out of the ice ages with, you know, with a dog collar around her neck. But there's a balance there. There's equilibrium. Like for instance, you also have the image of the white woman, you know what I'm saying, with the family, you know, with a strong man and the 2.5 kids. But with the black female, I'm like, she's been, and it ain't just white guys who did it, but it's the, you know, the black man who did it too. It's like a female that's that you know what I'm saying, you wanna have your way with, you wanna have sex with, but you don't want to procreate with. You don't want to use this female to build a nation, because we all know the black female is very sexy. You know what I'm saying? You know, when people do the polls, the sexiest body part on a female, you know what I'm saying, it is the ass. Even though the white man likes a different kind of ass than the black man, but yeah, it's a, you know, a nice round ass, whether it's firm or, you know what I'm saying, or big and juicy and loose, and it trumps, you know, nice titties. You know, it's just those curves there. So it's not about, you know, white men or other men being sexually attractive to black women, to find her stimulated and so forth. It's whether they respect her intellect, or, you know, want to, as I said before, want to have a bond with it. You know, and it's just like the black female has been, you know, trampled on ever since the slave trade. And Ghetto Gaggers kind of represents the maximum. It represents the extreme. And Twinky said have some of these females filed rape charges. I don't know about that, but, you know, there's females who's actually been raped who hasn't filed rape charges. But also what Ghetto Gaggers is doing is illegal. Some of it's illegal. Because in the porn, you can't have forced sex. And, you know, doing my research, some of them females seem forced. Like a dude is on top of her, you know, like they're got her in a figure 4 wrestling move. And you can tell she doesn't want to do it. She's saying no. But then they're just taunting her, and they're saying, oh, you know, you little slut, you little black slut, you whore, you know you like it. Then they're slapping her. So it seems like it's for it. This is the same thing Max Hardcore got in trouble for. You know, I did a bit on Max Hardcore, and people were just trying to, you know what I'm saying, do a rebuttal or whatever, you know, saying I got my facts wrong. Said, well, Max Hardcore went to jail for mailing out porn. No, he went to jail for mailing out porn with some of the substance on there, you know what I'm saying, as breaking the rules and so forth. You can't show any forced sex in pornography. Max Hardcore, he went down because he was just so easy, because he put his face on there, and, you know, and some people have said he was used as an scapegoat. He was used as an example. But Max Hardcore was not doing anything different than Ghetto Gaggers and so forth. And maybe Ghetto Gaggers have gotten away with it because hence the females were black and Max Hardcore was doing that to white females and so forth. But still, there's boundaries. It's just that the porn industry, it's just all considered smut, and sometimes people don't want to touch smut. You know, they don't want to observe it, and a lot of the rules that they break are not enforced. You know, because they'll have to bring in the female and talk to the female because they have to really observe the video and so forth. And a lot of it is not enforced. But we do know that there's rules and regulations in the porn industry. It's just some people look at it as just, oh, it's triple X, you know what I'm saying? It's all nasty and so forth. Now, the thing is, you know, whether Ghetto Gaggers, you know what I'm saying, this racial imagery, you know, black women being degraded, having their culture degraded, being superimposed with the ghetto. Is it detrimental? Well, look at those cartoons. You know, as I've stated before, you know, those racially offensive cartoons, very distasteful. You know, they're pretty much banned and so forth. But when you look at it, you can just say, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, they're cartoons and so forth. You know, it's just drawing. You know, it's just lines and ink. But you know what I'm saying, we know that there's a limit to that. You know, and so forth. So yeah, I think it's just, it'll be very hypocritical for people to overlook that and look at that as nothing, and you know, and still claim to want to help out, you know, the so-called black community, black commonwealth. And Twinky 647 released a video talking about racism and our society's becoming more racist. But to overlook Ghetto Gaggers, you know, you're kind of being a hypocrite, because who's watching this stuff? We got firemen and police officers, white guys. You know, who are watching this, you know, and they may get ideas, and they may, you know what I'm saying, really look at the black female as a piece of meat. I'm like, it's already bad enough that black men are already stereotyped for really, you know what I'm saying, degrading their women or not properly respecting that woman. Remember that that video of that racist woman, you know, lashing out at that FedEx worker. And he said, and she said that the black woman is on the Nazi side because she's tired of what you guys are doing to her and so forth. So hence we have the image of the black men just kicking the black woman down and so forth. And now this black woman is up for grabs or whatever. Like, oh, the black men don't want her. She's like a rag doll that anybody can do whatever with her and so forth. But still, with, you know what I'm saying, with just the racial history of, you know, of black people and white people, and then for Ghetto Gaggers to emerge and Ghetto Gaggers to get popular. Hence, someone said that those white guys got other sites where they're gagging other women. Yeah, but they're nowhere near as popular. You know, there's no, like, if they're gagging white females, they're not going to white dudes gagging white trash or white cave bitches and so forth. But when it was black females, it's like ebony sluts, hood rats, and so forth. And they also have another site called Latino Abuse. No, it's not like I got a porn addiction. I'm just doing my research. Called Latino Abuse, where they're gagging Latino women, but it's nowhere near as popular. Ghetto Gaggers skyrocketed, as I said before. Has a big search engine. You know what I'm saying? It has a whole lot of results on the search engine, and on top of that, Ghetto Gaggers is, you know what I'm saying? It's now in the Urban Dictionary, and people use it as an insult against black women, which really, the white dudes are the gaggers because they're the one gagging the women. The women are the one being gagged. They're gagging women from the ghetto. So Ghetto Gaggers is actually describing the white dudes, not the black females. But hence, you know, who cares about small details like that? But yeah, so yeah, I think it's I'm saying we should. It's definitely a topic for a discussion. You know, and we do need to raise awareness, because we don't want to have, because little kids are watching this, children, the younger generation are watching this. And the thing is, you be hard, you know what I'm saying, you be hard pressed to find any black dude that supports Ghetto Gaggers. If he does, he's not going to admit it. You know what I'm saying, it's going to be a secret fetish. It'll be a guilty pleasure, but this black dude has to be really sick. You know, if black people are watching this only because of shock value. You know, but you can find a bunch of black people that openly support Tommy Sotomayor. So you really have to think about that. Even when the Tommy thing and David Carl they have a lot of black supporters. Ghetto Gaggers have no black supporters. You may have black people saying, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? The females make their own bed. I understand that, but you're not going to have them like openly support it. Like, oh, I'm a big fan of this. You know, I share it with my friends and so forth. You see what I mean? But as I said, it's about raising awareness. You know, the thing is with black people, you know, in our selective race, and I know people are tired of hearing that word, is that, you know, even when it comes to the porn industry, white people do a lot more to, you know what I'm saying, to try to restrict it, to monitor it, to try to control it and restrain it than we do. Even though we know that a lot of our sisters, you know what I mean, we're trying to, and us black people, as I said, we're not like white people. White people got their own individuality. Remember, you know, but us black people, one person does something or a couple of black people, and then we all go down for it. But yeah, they have, you know what I'm saying, stepped up to the bat, you know, and you know what I'm saying, made efforts, you know what I'm saying, to raise awareness about porn, or you know, or try to get, you know what I'm saying, young women like that, the anti-porn church or whatever, which I think that's, you know, it's a bunch of crock, where they try to bring up discussion, try to deter young women from going into porn to help former porn stars. Us blacks, we have nothing like that. We don't have anything to stop our young black Nubians from entering this industry, knowing how fragile we are when we want to build a strong black community where we need black females there. You know what I'm saying? We don't need all these black women inside the porn industry or whatever, because you know, ebony porn is growing, you know, and a lot of these black women, they come from single parent families, grew up on welfare and whatever, and Section 8, and you know what I'm saying, it may seem like they're, you know what I'm saying, one of their options, you know what I'm saying, if they don't have nothing set up for them, no college funds or anything set up for them. Now remember what I say, we live in a free country, you know what I'm saying, capitalism, free market, you know, so I always put that in the equation. But hence, you know, just like we should, you know what I'm saying, drum up discussion and try to keep these, you know what I'm saying, people from going, you know what I'm saying, the wrong route and so forth. And, you know, and if anything, we can use Ghetto Gaggers as like, to tell people like, hey, the females in the porn industry, if you want to do this, you know what I'm saying, you might end up just like this, you know what I'm saying, as a warning, as a, you know, scared straight tactic and so forth. But hence, you know, when we talk about the black community, you know what I'm saying, there's other things that affect this. Some of the things that may affect the white community will also affect the black community. Like we hardly have any discussions about violent video games, or really this violent music, you know, porn, violent media such as movies. White people, they, you know, I mean, they do kind of like a better job, and you know what I'm saying, bringing this to the round table, and what good it does the moral fabric of our society and so forth. Whereas black people right now, we want to just focus on one certain thing and so forth. So one thing at a time, you know, because people in this corner of YouTube aren't even talking about, you know what I'm saying, the effects of the you know what I'm saying, of drugs, you know what I'm saying, our income equality and so forth. I'm like, we gotta look far beyond Tommy Sotomayor. I'm like, this goes back into, you know, the Hottentot Venus, where the black female was just looked as a freak of nature, just to use for sex, you know what I'm saying, just to get your rocks off and so forth. That's all I want to say. Thanks for watching it. Sally forth.